Hi guys, and welcome to Airability, your regular dose of lead therapy. And today I'm going to be starting a series of videos about shooting different types of targets. And what do we mean by that? We're going to start off and I'm going to shoot what I will call an indoor target and show you what goes through my mind, how I approach it, and what I do to try and make the best of each target. Now, the thing is with indoor targets, you don't have to take into account the weather conditions or anything like that because it's indoors, but the expectations are so high. Everybody wants a 250 25x, and I can tell you 250s and 25x's, you've got to work hard for them. They are the pinnacle of the sport. They're not what everybody produces every day of the week. No matter what you see on the internet from new shooters, you need some skill, you need some patience, and you really need some range time to start achieving these on a regular basis. Now, then I'll be moving outside with a 2-camera view of the wind flags in the target, and I'm going to be trying to show people how I shoot in a range of conditions, including low winds, high winds, and even if we can find some crazy winds, which I pretty much assured I can in my field, I'll show you how to cope when everything just goes off the scale at the competition and you've got to make it up as you go along. So with a bit of luck, there'll be snippets of information with me just basically speaking my mind as I'm shooting the target. There'll be snippets of information that might help some shooters with their shooting and get those scores up. Now, today, I am joined by, the favourite things in my airgun world, you know what I mean? And I've got my bacon butties waiting for when I finish talking to you. I am salivating and trying to talk to you. Oh, it's a beautiful Mrs. G egg, mushroom and bacon creation on a soft roll with a little bit of sesame seed. Now, and I've got my coffee, and I'm joined by, my favourite gunny. This is my match gun. And just to remind people, we've got a Tommy Bennett handmade stock on this, and that's where the name Tangerine Dream comes from. We've got the brand new Anschutz action that I've got from the factory, which seems to be shooting absolutely superb at the moment. And then I'm shooting through the action. I'm shooting my beloved H&N pellets. I just love these things. I've won so many medals with them. And on top is the new guy in the gang. This is a Falcon X50 scope. So they all come together into a very capable package, as you can see. So why don't we have a look at what I did when I shot the card, and also it'll give me an excuse to eat my bacon sandwich. I'm going to simulate how I would shoot an indoor card. Now my range at home is under 25 meters, but it is predominantly the first about 13 meters ish is indoors, and then the rest is outdoors. So I get very favourable conditions, but not quite indoors. But it's all I've got, so I'm going to try and talk about how I'd go about shooting an indoor target. And then I'm going to do some more videos in this series, how to do a low wind target outdoors, where I'm going to superimpose the wind flags over top of the scope footage, and then how to shoot in really heavy wind. So hopefully it'll give everybody an insight into how to shoot in different conditions. So I'm just going to use the target in this instance, and I'm not going to superimpose another view over it, because all you need to do is know what the target's doing, because you're indoors and there's nothing moving that you can see in any way. Now there is air movement indoors. Now it could be anything from sun heating the air up one side of the building, or central heating at the top end where you fire from, and it cold at the bottom. There's always air changing round, even in an indoor setting. And I've seen people start screaming when somebody comes onto the range and opening doors when the air rifles are on. All these little things can make a difference. So how I go about shooting an indoor card is I try and warm up the gun a little bit first, like this, and then I do a few sighters, but I leave enough sighters to be able to go and check me zero on as I go along the card. Now, the good thing about indoor shooting is you can be relaxed. You don't have to worry about battling the weather. This target isn't an official target with the 2mm bulls. I'm shooting the Falcon Optical Systems X50 scope on my brand new Anschuts action from the factory. So we'll see how we do. You're looking for that pure zen moment when everything's perfect to release the trigger. You can do it when you want and how you want. You're not subject to atmospheric conditions like shooting outdoors. So you make every effort to make that moment of perfection. And I suppose that moment of perfection would be easier if I wasn't jibber-jabbering to you guys. It's very overcast today. The range is pretty damn dark, and the there's virtually no wind, but there is still some movement. So again, we're looking for that moment of complete relaxation. And a very good coach once said to me, on the trigger, squeeze, 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 shotgun, and then we don't forget the follow through. Why is the follow through important? Your brain acts in front of what's actually happening physically. So before the shot's gone, you start actually lifting your head up to put the next pellet in. So you've got to separate that behaviour from allowing that to happen, and just add a pause in. Even one second of pause can make all the difference, especially in a shooting discipline where you're free holding the gun. Did you notice how I was shooting in between the clicks there? I've noticed that the pellets went slightly to the right, but not enough for a click on average. So I'm trying to just ease across a tiny bit in the bowl to see if that'll work. I'm actually doing a click now, and I'm going to go back across to the sighter. Right, let's have a look. Let's see if this works. I always find with any scope it's dodgy doing clicks in the middle of a card. I prefer to alter my hold off. I think there's a little bit of air moving me over down there. Right. Let me there. We'll try and get those little moments of perfection. I'm not bothered about any distractions around me. I'm purely focused on that bull, the perfect release, and the follow through. Oh, right. You can see the stabiliser in action on the hand shot. Very little movement when the shot goes off. It's an absolute testament to their engineering. Now here's one. The pellet felt a bit different going in, so I shoot it off in the sighter regardless of weather. I never risk it. So there you go. We're looking for these little moments where everything's perfect. You need to concentrate on being smooth on that trigger. And I think I moved the scope over slightly too much, so I'm going to try and compensate back the other way. Because there's clearly some air movement going on out there. Not too much. But you can see how those slight movements in where I'm placing the reticle are having an effect on where the pellet goes. So that just shows the accuracy of this type of gun. Oh. There you go. So just bear with me a minute. I've just realised I'm going to be a couple of pellets short, so I'm just going to size a couple up. Now I hope this doesn't break my concentration, and this is complete bad practice when it comes to being a pro shooter. I should have counted me pellets, but there you go. I've done a couple more here, and I'm going to give myself just a couple of seconds to settle again. Oh, right, and I'm going to shoot a sight just to make sure I'm settled. So this kind of simulates if one of your idiot mates distracts you, doesn't it, really? So here we go. Looking for that moment of zen. And we just trying to take advantage of total concentration. Follow through. There we go. We're back on the X's. A tidy card, but I wouldn't beat one of these pro indoor shooters. But I think I could hold me own against them on the outside. There we go. Again, nice way to finish a card off. We'll score it up. This is a practice card, and it only shows the potential of the rifle and the shooter if everything goes right at a competition. And I've marked it using a Benchrest UK plug, available at benchrestuk.com. Now, this isn't an official card, it's not an official competition, it's a bit of fun. But again, it shows what you can do if you apply a little bit of knowledge and a lot of practice. 20x, that's not bad considering, considering my range isn't fully indoors. I was very happy with that, and it showed the consistency of the rifle and the equipment that I use. Now, I would be honestly pleased with that indoors, because when I translate that scores to an outdoor scenario, I don't think many people are going to get a 250 20x regularly outdoors. So what it does for me is it shows the capability of my rifle and my equipment. So when I take it outdoors, I know that it's about me reading the wind and the atmospheric conditions correctly, and it's not about can the gun shoot. Now, just quick mention, Rob Robertson, forum member in the Air Ability Facebook group, his company, the Mortgage Information Centre, supplied the scope cam that we're going to use on this series of educational videos. Thanks, Rob. And I'm really hoping that, you can get some snippets of information out of these videos. And even if you get one little thing, and it gets you 1 point, that's going to be golden, isn't it? Anyway, guys, until next time, and hopefully, I hope you all get a 25x indoors. Take care. Bye-bye.